you've got a taste for. Get it in Leon's. 1528 East 63rd Street, 2 blocks west of Stony Island. Call them at 773-891-4804. And now, Leon's delivers via Uber Eats. Just remember, it's in the sauce. Got tracks to lay down? Get innovative. Super assignment, get innovative. For your next CD project, get innovative. Innovative. Recording studio inside Urban Broadcast Media. Located at 4108 South King Drive. We're open 24/7 to service your audio needs. All for $40 per hour, including the engineer. Give Innovative a call at 773-512-6348 or email us at ubminnovative@gmail.com.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rod goes down the hole, pull tight, being left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are you pantsing her head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes twice a day, making sure they brush their teeth is easier.
Ready,
and it
get
can help
ready,
save them from a lifetime of
UVM.
tooth pain.
UVM,
2
please
minutes to find out more.
download
ECCSC
ECCSC presents
healthy lives in the Ad Council.
Download the free UVM app on Google Play or Apple App
Wow,
Store.
you're not even moving your arm.
Call in, live call in, folks. Live call in. Live call in. Waiting to hear from you. Live call in. That's 312-754-4333.
Time to call 911.
312-754-4333.
Fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
There's no big brother. You can do this together.
All right, let's go. Sports know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
Oh, yeah, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh, man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. Oh, cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. This little face, how do you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug. Project.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe, but are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth, keep your elbows off the table, share your things, play nice and general, and treat others the way you'd like to be treated, got it? And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. 2
Remember,
minutes
call
twice a day,
in
making
live.
sure they brush their teeth.
Gonna have a nice show today. I got my brother Malik with me. We're about to do our thing. I wanted to introduce him to the scene and let him get his shine today. So people, stay tuned. Should be that interesting. You know, he even got some poetry for y'all. All right, I'm gonna make some spit. I'm gonna make some spit. Cause he got some. I have to make him do a couple pieces.
1 in 6 seniors faces.
You're always trying to spit. I'm gonna see what he got today.
Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating
Stand
at
by.
AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
UVM.
UBM Radio.
Powered by Urban Broadcast Media.
Chicago. Select hours on UBM Radio are furnished by paid programming. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of UBM Radio, Urban Broadcast Media, their subsidiaries, or sponsors.
The following program on UBM Radio is sponsored by Leon's Barbecue. UBM Radio welcomes you home, presented by ECCSC, with your host, Tyrone Muhammad.
So take care, people. How y'all doing? Listen, man, it's a little reverb coming back on it. All right, there you go. The mic is right. What we got going on here? Welcome to Home. ECCSC presents Home on Urban Broadcast Media. Remember, people that's out there looking and listening, download the free UBM app on Google Play or Apple App Store. Also, you can call in live at 312-754-4333. That's 312-754-4333. Thank you. So today we have a pretty interesting show. I always want to highlight brothers who've come home, who have reestablished themselves in the community, who are trying to make a difference after serving prison time. These men are brothers who make the effort to give back, who in their hearts and in their mind desire to give back. They've always seemed to be the negative criticism of brothers who go to prison and return home. But there's very few accolades, that rewards the brothers for their service and everything it is that they do for their community. So please, brothers, I just want you all to know, and sisters, that we are out here working, we're building, we're trying to give back, because in our mind, we feel that we have destroyed the communities. So it's our job and our obligation to give back to the community, to society. So, and with that being said, I want to introduce Brother Malik. Brother Malik, there you go, brother. Talk to the people, tell them about yourself, let them know a little bit about you, even the time you served.
Yes, sir. My name is Malik Muhammad. My poet name is Lamana Poet. Done 20 years in the Department of Corrections. I was locked up for a crime I didn't commit. It was hard. It wasn't easy, but God brought me through. He brought me through. I just kept pushing through. I started connecting with decent brothers like Tyrone Muhammad. We would walk the yard and talk about the things that's going on today that you see him doing. We talked about this years ago before you even seen him on TV or heard him on a radio station. Brother Nalim Muhammad that's sitting right next to me, he used to write me letters and send me papers to read, Final Call newspapers that kept helping me refurbish my mind during my journey through the belly of the beast. So my thing is this: a lot of guys go to prison, a lot of women go to prison, and they feel like, man, they done so much time, there's nothing they can do with their life when they get out. But that's a lie. You're looking at proof right here. You're looking at these brothers right here that inspire brothers through in jail, throughout the community, the youth, and everything. These brothers have done time, I done time, and we here. So anybody that's incarcerated or you incarcerated mentally, you can break through that. You can bust through them barriers and make anything happen that you want to happen. You can accomplish any goal, and that's real.
Yeah, so it's always interesting. I'm always talking about when we get together how much time you see. So you like 23 years or 24 years? 23 years, 21 years, and 20 years. People add that up. You got that much time between us, and all of us have spent prison time in the same locations. Different locations. It doesn't matter. The cell is the same no matter where you're at. You're confined. You're isolated. You feel demoralized. You feel like the humanness, your humaneness, all of that is eliminated, and it's just a depressing situation. I never thought I would ever make it home.
That's right.
In my mind when I first went to prison, I was gonna do suicide by cop. I'm going over the gate. Y'all gonna have to shoot me. That's how I felt about it, cause I just felt I was dead already. And I never thought I would be able to imagine completing a 22-decade sentence, bro.
Well, Brother Tyrone, when you think back about serving time, you think about the condition of your mind when you went in. And like Malik said, letters and things like this had an effect on him. But more so than anything, we had time to get in touch with who we were as individuals. We had time to see who we were as men. And we take responsible steps as men to make a difference first in our own lives and then in the lives of other people. Because I thought, like Brother Tyrone thought, I had 80 years. I never thought that I would see. And the things that we do now is we try to show people that in some small way, that regardless of what we went through, the impact that it had on our lives, it made us better. It made us better first to ourselves. We started treating ourselves right. We started eating right, we started thinking right, and we started doing right. And then when we came home, we tried to make an impact in the community. And what we do as a collective body of men is we sincerely try to make a change in the community, starting with ourselves. When we out there on the front line, we do this every day because we care. We've been there. We've done that. And when you've been through those kind of trials and when you've been through those kind of tribulations, you say to yourself, what can I do to make a difference? Tyrone sat back years. What can I do to make a difference first in my own life and then in the lives of young brothers? Because we see them coming in and out, man, like it's an assembly line. They coming through the prison so fast that you got to actually open the doors. You don't get a chance to close them no more. They coming in that fast. So this is what we're doing now. ECCSC is about social and economical change in our personal lives and in the lives of those that we touch.
Sitting in that cell, man, and imagining just to receive a letter was difficult. We call them what, drive-bys? CO walk past your cell.
With no mail.
With no mail. And it's not the money. It's not the phone call. It's not even the visit.
Letter.
It's something about that letter, man, that's coming in that mail. I think that letter is like, it's saying that if a person, like we know what social media is today, people don't even know phone numbers no more. People don't know addresses no more. It's like, to write a letter means that you have to actually take the time to sit down and put pen to paper and a reflection of your thought on that paper, and then take the time with our lazy butts and go to the mailbox or the post office and drop that in. This is what we got to do.
50 cents.
50 cents. And to receive that type of information or receive that type of letter, it symbolizes that someone cares for us. You're blocking that camera. Someone cares for us, and that is very rewarding, humane.
Right.
Loving, what you call it, bro?
Yeah, loving, and also it takes a person's mind outside the prison, on the opposite side of the gate. You know, a lot of us during our incarceration, we be like, why us? But you know, God got his finger on it. He allowed it to happen for a reason. Like me, I had 2 mistrials, and the 3rd trial they found me guilty with an all-white jury. And I was mad. I wanted to do everything possible to get up out of there.
Wait. We are led to believe that we are incarcerated or sentenced by a jury of our peers. So you tell me the jury that sentenced you didn't come from Inglewood, didn't come from the ghetto, they came from where?
Suburban white community.
So listen, people, this is real serious. Now, we are told we are tried and prosecuted by a jury of our peers. In fact, and I implore everybody to understand, look, it's time really everybody in prison is eligible for a new trial.
Yeah, they're not a jury, they peers.
No, they're not.
So the people that will actually adjudicate and come to understand what it is that my community, my environment, are the people, you know, pretty much that come from amongst us. So you being found guilty and sentenced wrongly is no coincidence, or it's not surprising.
No, it's not. It's going on every day. You know, I'm looking for the right words to say it. They say if we don't use our mind, somebody else will. And what I mean by that is we don't know the law. We haven't studied the law. So when we go to court, they speak in a foreign language. So we just nod our head, yeah, and go along with it. That's what happened to me. I never been to law school. But that's not an excuse. I could have went to the law library and studied books and stuff like that and tried to find a way for myself to get out. And then a lot of brothers take paralegal courses, but some guys don't have the funds to do it. So the key thing is education. While we out here free, or if you're incarcerated, educate yourself. You're going to cry and be upset because you're incarcerated, but ask yourself why did God allow it? And then you're going to lose friends in there because you're going to take on a different journey. But you got to focus on doing what you do. Whether it's going to school, studying, reading, working on whatever craft or whatever gift that God gave you, and cultivate it and bring it to the next level.
But the thing I'm listening to and just understanding that, because we all pretty much have spent the same amount of time, even Teese sitting over there, have spent the same amount of time in prison, pretty much 2 decades. So we got 80-some years in this room right now, and that's amazing. That's 4 men that society has removed from the communities, from any form of social interaction for 80-some years. 4 guys sitting in this room right now, and women. And we add that time. We don't want to add that time up because that might look. But anyway, all I'm saying to you people is that even if he didn't know about the law, even if he didn't know, this is why you have an organization like ECCSC.
That's right.
It's our job to not allow the brothers that's about to serve this time and go through this time, have to do that on their own without fighting or doing, you know what I'm saying, feel like they have a voice and a support. We should be a mirror to the legislators, to the so-called black leaders about their sons, nephews, cousins, and brothers that's confined in that place with no support.
Well, see, Brother Malik said it well. When I first met Malik, it was at our event that we had, our fundraiser. And I knew him, not verbally, but I knew him through letters, like what you were saying, through letters. And he walked up to me and said, Brother Rodney, man, I've been wanting to meet you for a long time. And I said, who are you, brother? He said, I'm Malik. I said, oh, okay, so alaikum. He said, brother, your letters is the one that inspired me, that motivated me, that kept me going through what I had to go through. It was your letters that inspired me, and the material that you was sending me. Man, that sent shock waves through me. To know that each letter that I've written had an effect on somebody.
because I write over 1,000 letters a month. That's what Pen Pals for Peace developed from. Writing letters. We, across the country, we getting people involved, churches, mosques, organizations, groups to write and engage brothers and sisters that are incarcerated and adopt them. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in 1995, adopt an inmate. That was a science that he gave us that we didn't even understand the formula. If you adopt somebody, if every church and every mosque and every synagogue and every organization adopt one person, the members in there, you could change the prison system overnight, because these people are going to come home. And then what are they going to come home
It's
to?
clear is that everybody that eventually goes to prison, just about majority of the brothers eventually come home. And they often return to the same neighborhoods they was arrested or removed from. So with that being said, and create ECCSC, we understood that we could no longer wait on benevolent white folks
to give us what we need.
We could no longer wait on politicians.
That's right.
We could no longer wait on pastors who can't even serve their own congregation, let alone serve the extended community of those who were incarcerated. Jesus said, "When was I in prison and you visited me not?" We know that's not happening in prison, because there's too many lonely souls in there. We were a part of that group.
That's right.
And we know, man, that the business leaders are all implicit as it relates to the prison industrial complex and how it usurps and robs our community of funds. It doesn't just incarcerate the shall we say, the offender, but it also victimizes the family, loved ones. It victimizes community. And that's real deep right there. In 2 minutes, you want to speak on that, Lionel, before we're going to break?
Well, see, the reason it victimizes so many people is because it's just like when a person kills somebody. You may shoot one person, but several thousand people are affected by that one life. When you incarcerate somebody, you don't just lock the person up, you lock, what about his siblings?
Mm-hmm.
What about his family? Mm-hmm. What about his community? What about his church or his mosque or whatever the case may be? Those people are sentenced to 20 years, 30 years, 80 years. Even those that were responsible for locking the person up, they are affected by that one person being locked up.
Yes, sir.
Whether good or bad. Everybody is affected in some way or another. And the reason that they are affected is because they don't realize that this has a damaging effect on that person's life and those that love that person. His mother. Man, my sister, my mother only had 2 children. My sister was affected deeply by her only brother being incarcerated. So she turned to drugs as an alternative to escape the reality of losing her only brother. And that was sad, man. So I had to do everything that I had to do to get my life in order so that I could be an example to her and to my mother and to my children, so that they would know that, man, that I'm not the person that I used to be. This is the person that God made me to be.
So finish on that subject after this break. You still doing it. That's live. What's up? Oh, Lord have mercy. Hey, look, y'all. Y'all know who this is? Always smelling like, that's tea. Ain't no question. I'm through it. That's my man. Oh, we gonna get you one. That gonna teach people. Y'all know it. Teach. Hey. Y'all got y'all conversation all on the thing, right? Y'all don't want these microphones catch everything you say, even your breath. So y'all got something y'all want to share with the public?
We can make it public right now.
What's up, bro?
Check out.
We got T. Yep. How you feel?
You know what? Teach was everywhere. Please download the free UBM app on Google Play, the Apple App Store, and call in live. We're waiting on your live call at 312-754-4333. That's 312-754-4333. Call in live. So Lionel just left off of the extended effect of, the incarceration on the community. Not just the person, the victims, but the whole community is affected by incarceration.
And not only are they affected negatively, but the damaging effect that incarceration leaves on the family does not heal the process that needs to be healed, because the damage lasts so long, just like slavery. The effects of slavery still exist. We are suffering from the psychological effects of slavery. When you lock somebody up for 20 years, you isolate them from their family members and from their community and from their religious beliefs. Do you make them humane or do you make them savage? You have two options. You become either civilized or you become a savage. When you return to your home after coming out of an environment like that, no matter how bad prison may seem, there's still structure. You come home to a house where there are no rules. Nobody has regulations. You come to a community where there's no moral conduct. Everybody is savage in their behavior and in their thinking. People coming in and out of the door, all times of day and night in your house, going in the refrigerator. Nothing changes in the refrigerator, but they open the refrigerator 100 times. They come in with their shoes on, they walk in the house with their hats on, they walk in the house with their pants down or off. This is the kind of behavior that you come into, and then they talk about recidivism. Why do people go back to prison? Do they go back to prison because they like prison, or do they go back to prison because they can't find moral character and moral conduct in the society that they live in? The reality is this: those guys that stayed long periods of time, they never returned. The percentage of them returning to prison is 1%. The only people that return to prison is those that have that savage mentality that go in and come back out, go in and come back out, go in and come back out. Because when they come to a home where there's no order and no structure, they come to a savage home. Nobody has no morals. Mama ain't got on no clothes. Daddy ain't got on no clothes. Children running all around the house. So when you come to that, that's the effect, the psychological effect of being incarcerated away from your family and your loved ones and your friends.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Oh yeah, yeah. I agree with that 100%. It's like when you come home, you're an alien. Like me and Lionel was talking on the phone maybe a week ago, and it's like you come home with a different state of mind, and you come home and you expect everybody to be on what you on. Right. But when you get here, they not. They brainwashed by social media, Hollywood, TV, you name it, YouTube, whatever. And that's the way they live their life. A person that come home with a structured mind, you don't know how to fit in. So a lot of guys do return. And like he said, a lot of guys that do a lot of time, they come home and they push through because they know that everybody that start off with you is not going to be the same people that end up with you.
Absolutely.
And so you come in contact with like-minded brothers like these brothers right here. these sisters over here, this brother over here. And because we all going in the same direction in life. So you kind of like leave a old nigga mentality behind, but it's not to say that we better than them. The thing is that sometimes we have to, like they said, lead by example, so they have a chance to see, hey, if they can make it, then guess what? We can try too and do the same thing and come to the fold.
But when you say, and you try to quantify or qualify it by saying it's not that we're not better than them. In fact, I think in some cases we are. Because in this sense, the whole world is in prison.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So I always say that I spent 21 years in college.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you spend 21 years in college, you better be a master 3 or 4 times in something. If you apply your college scholarship properly. There are people who go to prison or college and they don't read, they don't pick up a book, they even flunk out. Meaning you flunk out of prison.
Yeah.
It's already a demoralized state.
That's right.
Where we've been found to be in error by society standards. For one, you can't reform something that's never been corrected. Wait, how can you reform something that's been broken before we went into prison? What you then end up having is something that comes out worse than when it went in.
That's that savage behavior.
So then when I say we are better, when you say those that spend 10 or more years tend to be more successful and not recidivating or coming back to prison because you are isolated for 20 years in a 9x12 cell or bathroom, as I call it. A washroom where everything of life takes place. You eat in the washroom. You sleep in the washroom with sometime another man about your same size or woman. Everything you own fits in that room, in the box. Everything you do in that box. And the whole environment is designed to box your mind into the prototype that they have established for us to return back to the communities worse off than when we went in, because legislators, politicians do not care about any of that. They do not care about any of it, man. They don't do proper legislation that allows for us to do better, to be better, to function in life better than when we went in. Once again, what was broken before we went to prison, their prison structure is inherently broken, society is broken, and you expect for us to be corrected. How that work?
Well, see, it's funny that you say it broken. See, most of our homes, Brother Tyrone, Malik, were broken. When I say broken, they were not structured around both male and female, father and mother, children. So when you left a broken home, you went to a broken what? Street.
Community.
And then when you go to a broken street or a broken community, it ostracizes you or exiles you into a prison system that's already broken.
Isolated and segregated. Chicago.
So now you get into a prison system that's broken. After you came from a broken home and a broken community, then they put you in a 6x9 cell and you're further broken. Because if it's 2 people in there and it's only 6 feet, that means you only use 3 feet of it. And the other guys use other 3. So that means now you're further isolated.
Because you sure can't be on the floor at the same time.
Both of y'all can't be on the floor at the same time.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? Or one guy standing in the back of the cell and one standing in the front.
That's real.
And people don't even know, they don't even understand the magnitude of what we went through. When Tyrone get up out of the bed, I got to stay in the bed.
Yeah.
Because now he got to wash up and he got to move around.
He got to defecate.
You know, he
got
got
to fix his food
unless
we fixing it together.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then once he get through, now I got to get down. So once he get through, now he get back in his bed.
Yep.
That's
so
crazy.
You then become isolated to a bed.
Man.
You become confined to now
a bed
3x6.
Sleep all day.
so man, this is a real situation, and that's why I'm relentless on these pastors. I'm relentless on these politicians for their inactivity as it relates to reformation, as it relates to social justice, as it relates to criminal justice, and all the other aspects as it relates to restorative justice. As restorative justice tend to look towards the victim and give the victim an opportunity for healing. But you healing the victim without healing the perpetrator.
See,
you will never get healed. Everybody broken.
See, you can't heal something until you first heal yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jesus said in the Bible, he said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. We become discriminatory to our own self. If you just ask people simple questions, say, well, what hand are you? They'll say, I'm left-handed or right-handed. But you got two. What about being ambidextrous?
Yeah.
You got two hands. You see what I'm saying? You discriminate against your own body and don't even realize it. Yeah. And you say, well, man, I
got a strong leg. I got a strong eye. This left eye is strong.
This arm stronger than this arm. Yeah. You start discriminating towards yourself. And if this house is divided, the physical house, the moral house that you live in, then how do you expect the community to be in order when you divide?
And not only be, first of all, how do you forgive and be as forgiving to someone who committed a crime or act against you or the community?
Right.
You see, now you adding another component. You understand? And this is why I always tell us,
you sure right.
we instantly will forgive white family members of the ancestors, of their white ancestors, even though they reap the benefit of our conditioning, right?
Sure do.
Yeah. We quick to forgive white folks. It ain't about discrimination. It ain't about this, man. We diverse. But we discriminate against the very brothers in your community who commit crimes out of ignorance most of the time or necessity, right? And we would not afford them the same level of diversity, opportunity, after they have served the time according to the very people we want to forgive.
And when you said that, I thought about, I was watching the news one time. This was recently. And they sentenced this guy to prison. And my mother and I were talking, and and the lady said, I just want justice. So I went to the Quran, and the law says in the Quran, he said, if I were to administer justice,
nobody be alive.
It wouldn't be a soul left on the earth.
Right.
See, people talk about justice, but you don't want justice. You want revenge in the name of justice. Yeah. I want Tyrone locked up. He shot so-and-so. Lock Lionel up forever. He did this, that, and the other. Now, this is what they say. I want to find closure. So do you really find closure? Or is it just like Tyrone said, that white mentality that you have, that I want him to pay the ultimate price. I want revenge. I don't want justice.
So listen, Malik, I know you're poor before we go on this break, and I'm gonna let you take us out to 40, and get that break in, and then we're gonna come back and get real serious. We were serious, but we're about to get real serious. Go ahead, y'all know the young poet right here.
Yeah. This poem right here is titled Reconnect. Okay. I'm like Bruce Lee without the skills. I'm like a farmer trying to plant corn without the fields. I'm like a gigolo with no blood heat. I'm a pure origin without the sleep. She's the 45-pound pit bull that broke my arm. She's that same freight train that crashed my blacked out cars. She's that same sun that shines at night. She's 20 below like the weather and she ain't afraid to bite. On the first of the month, I wait for state pay. She's online with her broker talking gateway. As in computers in a drug program. All money is green between her and Uncle Sam. She's like the parent, I'm like the child. She's in major cities getting down for a crown. A queen, elevating with time. Now the world just left me behind. And I realized I wasted my motherfucking time. Tears on my cheek, I'm weak like I'm stumbling in Huggies. Thinking to myself, where the fuck are my buddies? No commissary, JPay, or TV. I stare at a photo on the wall of a woman who hates me. Summer, goddess of the universe. She's pretty and lonely, her heart is broken by her. I'm her ex-husband, Big G. Infidelity and fast cash destroyed me. Instead of refurbishing my mind, I put my dome in a line of fire. I traded my royal roll in for dirt, chasing high-class hookers, absence of worth. Years later, that cell door opened. No longer broken, no longer wasting time. Our brothers on the grind, working hard and smart, a black man with a library card. I just stepped out of prison and abandoned the doubt. The tongues in my shoes follow the one in my mouth. Blessings from the vast one who dwells inside of me. I'm down on a bended knee. I just plucked the rose from the dirt. Now it's time to follow the signs and reconnect with my earth.
Wow. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that. I like that.
So listen, we'll be right back after this break, and people call in. Call in.
That was a call for the day. How do we get on here?
Radio. Well, you can't hear it without him calling in.
We gotta call them.
Yeah.
He gotta push the one accept.
You didn't have that 4-year college
it's free.
degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we
We'll figure it out. We might
and
have to
since
do
then,
it.
you've worked incredibly hard.
Because I told him, I said, call.
You've been an important asset to the team.
When we do it, I don't know how to do it.
It will have to be linked to that auxiliary show, and they speak over inside of that.
Absolutely.
In his side, because he has the external speaker, internal speaker he has that will filter into that one.
Okay, cause I got brother Hassan from Death Row. He gonna call in too. He's in Ohio. He's in Youngstown,
Let's see if we
Ohio.
can hear from him, put him on and see if he calls me. Let's try and answer his call. Let's see. Let's put him at the mic and see if it.
Okay, cause I'm gonna have him do it when we come back on. Cause I can't do it now, cause he.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So what I'm gonna do is when I talk to him, tell him to call, and we're gonna try to put you on the speaker. But I was thinking we could put.
Yeah, it's auxiliary. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He will have it in there. If it was gonna happen, you will have to do it like that.
Turn back
for everyone over
about
60.
that May situation. Think about who I say. If you ever noticed, prison look like a maze, like ants, and they heard us directly. If you ever noticed, the walks go specifically in the direction, like they heard us in every time, specific directly this way. And you can only go through small gates.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They only allow you a certain amount of space, even when you're outside. You still, you gotta be in tubes. You still boxed in. Got to move this way. And even if people sleep on what he was saying, even
Welcome back, people. Welcome back. ECCSC presents H.O.M.E, helping our mission evolve. And what is that? Reducing recidivism, prison reform, economic transparency for disenfranchised young men, African Americans in the community, violence prevention, man. You can't even get to and fro to work if we don't eliminate the violence. We have to stop this black on black hate. We have to build our communities with love and respect. So, and really the main thing for me at this election season, and this is what I'm saying, we're going to get serious. These elected officials, 30,000 prisoners, approximately 30,000 prisoners are released from the Illinois prison system every year. The power we have to elect especially in these neighborhoods where there's a high concentration of formerly incarcerated men, we're going to start removing you aldermen.
That's right.
We're going to start removing you aldermen when we get through organizing and building a real true power base and building a real true power base. You're going to realize and recognize the men that you have denied, neglected, forsaken, forsook, as they say.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you're going to realize our power. Everybody has a lobby, bro. Dogs have lobbies.
So do.
Fur have lobby. Trees have lobbies.
They got to do.
Tree huggers. LGBTQ community. And whatever other alphabet you add to that. Have lobby and have power, have money, and you know why they have power? Because they come together.
They come together
on the common issue of discrimination. That same community, LGBTQ, will come together on discrimination, but they won't come together as it relates to how we're discriminated against in housing, economic opportunities.
That's right.
Healthcare. I can go on and on, bro. That same community that want people to have sympathy and love and respect for them as LGBTQ won't step forth and come forth and say justice for all. They don't line with us. That's why I tell you, we are the most disenfranchised, discriminated against class. I call this this is a permanent underclass. We are a permanent underclass that's going to turn this thing around. We have the audacity to use the X as a double entendre for meaning unknown and X of everything or judgment you've ever had.
That's right. That's right.
Sir. So ex-con, we have that's because we never was considered citizens.
Nope.
We are convicted. We are felons. We are class X's. We have everything. We class X's. Okay, we ex-cons.
Ex-cons for community and social change.
So this community is always taken, if you study history, it has always taken the demoralized, the disenfranchised. Look at every prophet and messenger that ever came. Yep. It's always the bottom of the community
that's right.
that resurrect and build the community. Since we destroyed it, it is our job and obligation
to build
it. And we're not waiting on nobody to give us no money to start it, to do anything for us to start it, to help us to have no sympathy, because we didn't have sympathy for ourselves sitting in them cells. We decided we was going to come out of these cells and contribute to society.
And make it better.
And make it better. For not just us, but for you. Because we okay. We okay. Yep. We sat in them cells and we was forced to listen to our own thoughts, our own hearts, our own mind. Imagine being in isolation for 2 decades. That's 20 years, people, for y'all that don't know how to count.
Hey.
That's 20 years.
We Christ. We done died on the cross for y'all already.
So we dead already. That's why they say, how you go so hard? I already died, man. Why you not afraid? I don't care. I died already. So why I moved the way I want? Why you never get tired? You can go lay down, go sit down. Sit down. Sit in a cell for 20 years and then tell me, let somebody tell you to go sit down and go to sleep. Go ahead,
But what you said was so real. When you've been in a cell, sitting down for 20 years, ain't no time to sit down no more. Ain't even no time to lay down. You lay, this is all you do. You get up, you eat, wash your clothes, wash yourself, and you lay down. You read on the bed, you eat on the bed, you know what I'm saying? You talk on the bed, you play cards on the bed, you do everything on the bed, because ain't nowhere else to stand.
And you can't sit nowhere because there's no comfortable chair.
You don't have chairs in your
Ain't no lounger.
No. And you take the TV and put it right on the end of the bed so you can watch TV in the bed.
In the bed.
And then they say,
Man, Brother Tyrone, y'all always running. Y'all always doing it. Brother Lionel, don't y'all slow down? Man, don't y'all get some rest? We rest when we dead.
That's the only time I'm resting, people, when I'm dead. And I'm always running towards dead.
Yes, sir.
That's when we rest. We didn't sit down long enough. Almighty God has prepared us to work. We got to work.
Worth $100 million in 3 years. And not by exploiting my people.
Wow.
Wow.
That's not by exploiting my people. Now, what that tell you? Somebody got my money. And I'm coming to get it. And I'm going to start with you, first of all, by removing and replacing you politicians, you pastors, and you so-called business leaders who have sucked the blood out of our peoples for so long in these communities, till our communities look like deserts. Look like demoralized conditions. I'm so tired of seeing our young brothers strung out on pills and dro, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the new cologne being weed.
Yeah.
That's the new cologne. Yeah. Don't even, man, listen, I wish I could bottle that up and sell it. Yeah. Do they sell cologne weed? Yeah. Weed cologne? Because, bro, I'm so tired of smelling that. I am contact high.
Yeah.
That's what we used to
I
do
ain't
back
never
in the day.
smoked and drink in my life. I ain't never been so high off of contact since these last year or so, man.
And
almost make me want to run back to prison.
Hey, listen here, and I'm in, and the loud was so loud that I had to actually let my windows up and cut my darn air off because it's blowing up in my car.
Man.
I said, man, what's going on here? I pull up on the side of, man, y'all getting down like that there?
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong. Do you believe the reason they do it to kill the stress and the
No
pain
doubt about it.
that they going
but
through?
habit is everything, though. We learned how to do what we do and commit crimes by watching people. We didn't grow up. You're not born wanting to stick nobody up. Man. You're not born wanting to sell drugs, especially when we don't produce coca leaves.
No.
We don't grow coca leaf. We don't grow poppy seeds, and we don't produce Smith & Wesson in Inglewood. So you tell me, man, how is it possible for a young man at 12 to get all those things, but not a book?
It was placed there. They don't want nobody educated, as we all know. If we brain dead, like y'all saying, and we in and out of jail, we in and out of fake food like McDonald's or Burger King, and all this, to me,
process.
That we don't even own.
That we don't even own. All this stuff is processed and it's tearing us down, along with the weed, the pills, and all that stuff. And then, like Lionel was saying, we come home, and just because we change, our family members like, you slow. You don't know what's going on. This what's happening. This the new thing. And we like, nah, this ain't the new thing. It is. They don't want us around no more.
But this was the first thing they ask you. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, they ask us what's wrong with you.
They don't say, Tyrone, you all right?
Yeah.
But man, what's wrong with you?
You tripping.
You ain't smoking with us.
Listen, man, I get that all the time on the number front.
Yeah.
Not only do I don't smoke and drink, I don't eat meat. So I don't eat chicken, fish, nothing.
Right.
Since 1990.
That's a blessing.
So I'm crazy all the way around, man. I ain't even got a piece of chicken wing.
Yeah. They don't even want you in their house. They pick arguments with you just to get you up out of there. They don't want you around. It's like Malcolm X said. I think it was Malcolm X. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't have to tell the glass is dirty. Put a clean one next to it. So how did this brother come home? These two brothers, these three brothers, these four brothers come home different because the media told us that you was going to be blind, crazy, and slow when you came home. But you're not. So now we don't want you around. You know, you got a lot of people that think like that. They don't want you around, especially the way y'all articulate yourself, the way y'all give back to the community. A lot of people don't want y'all around, man.
But see, not only that, Brother Malik, when you disconnected from people, that's why Pen Pals for Peace is important.
Yes, sir.
That's why ECCSC is important. See, when you disconnected from people, they already foreign to you. When Tyrone came back home, man, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Why this? Why is this? Why that?
Why are you over in the corner? Why he fold his clothes up all the time? What they used to that savage behavior, throw your clothes on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come around, you already been disconnected from him.
Yeah.
For 20 years, he wasn't around. For 20 years, I wasn't around. For 20 years, you wasn't around. For 20 years, Teach wasn't around.
Yes, sir.
So when you come back around, you look strange.
Yeah.
You look different. It's something about Tyrone that he ain't this, because they don't see you changing. They see you the same old Negro that you was before you left. Broken, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, misery love company. That's the bottom line. But this is what I love, man, about us and what we trying to establish and build. We recognize our wrongs.
Yes.
So in recognizing our wrong, we man up and we said, listen, we're gonna be responsible for transforming the narrative as how you view brothers coming home.
That's right.
And in transforming that narrative, we also offer an olive branch and a level and a penance of love towards our young brothers and sons and nephews and cousins who our actions
That's right.
have affected.
That's right.
And have caused them to be misguided and for us to be removed from the streets. It essentially dropped the ball on them. No fault of our own in that case, because no man want to go to prison. But our actions caused us to harm the community because our fathers and grandfathers dropped the ball on us. Because Plymouth Rock was dropped on them.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they don't know, they didn't know how to be men. They didn't know how to teach us how to be men. And we stand before the people and say, we're going to teach our sons how to be men.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Our nephews how to be men.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's why I have no fear when I'm exposing people going out here in these communities and showing up at these aldermen door. We're going to be showing up at their homes next with bullhorns. We're going to make it hard for these politicians to sleep. Just like it's hard for black women and children to sleep in crime-ridden and infested communities, lack of economic opportunity community, and I'm tired of our women, bro.
Yes.
Dependent on outside people to give them milk, bread, pampers, and butter.
Ain't no doubt.
While every Arab on the corner take home no less than 2 to 3 million from every corner store.
Ain't no doubt.
And we don't, and we sit back as men. We sit back as men, and we allow it. We allow it.
And then too, I like to add, a lot of them corner stores that you talking about, the Arabs, a lot of our women in survival mode, so they sleeping with them behind closed doors, just for pampers and milk and
several sisters have told me that.
Yeah, that's crazy,
And
but
that hurts
they'll
me.
hide their women from us.
No doubt.
They don't want us messing
and
with
full burgers.
Yeah, and they hide them because they respect them.
Ain't no doubt.
All right, listen, brothers, sisters, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week because this is our time. This is our show. ECCSC present Home on UBM. Please come again.
Please, no bars.
Listen up, my man, my bars is off the chain. Quit playing game, my flow is still the same. Hey, all you want, I spit the same flow. Quit playing game, my man, I won't go. Hey, look, don't even try, my man, I'm used to it. Bars like this, my flow is still fluid. Woo!
He in with the same thing. He in with the same thing. My flow. That's your ending. Every bar you spit, that's your ending. Listen.
That's what